Hi guys, girls, gals, I don't know. As I promised in my speedrun video, somewhere over here, hopefully, the full shave that I've been asked about a couple of times for, how long does it take, what's involved with a straight razor shave. So here we go, we're going to take it right from step one. I've got a sink full of water right now, and I literally, just as the camera came on, dropped my brush in there so it's soaking. Just out of the shower, but my face is a little dried out while I was setting up the camera and so on. So, using my Godek Prima straight razor. It's a full hollow ground. One of my favorites. So what I've just done, you can't see off camera here, I'm just lightly dipping this in the hot water, warm water, sorry. So it's a little more malleable. So what that does is that eliminates my need to use the canvas strop in the back to try and warm up the blade. By the way, that is a pass. This is not a pass. When somebody says you need to do 20, 40 passes on a strop, they mean 1, 2, and so on. Don't worry if you cannot do this fast. Quality over speed, and it comes with time. As you can see, I can talk and do this at the same time. When I first started out doing this, it looked painfully slow. So, and that ringing, by the way, that's because of the blade. If I were to do this with another one, say a full wedge, I'll just talk into the camera here. So the pipe razor that you saw me use before, here's the difference. And it's got nothing to do with quality of the blade. Absolutely silent. It's a function of partially the steel, partially the way that it's ground. That rings because it's very light and its harmonic is high. That's it. It doesn't really denote quality. So, my face has dried out since I've been talking to you and been in the shower, or out of the shower. So I'm just getting a little bit of hot water on a towel, and I'm just gonna wrap in. Now you can also use pre-shave oil for this. This is just a bit of heat, a bit of moisture to rehydrate the beard, so you don't cut yourself, or it's a more comfortable shave. Of course, the more moisture you can work into the hair shaft, not the follicle, but the shaft itself, the more elastic the hair becomes, the easier it is to cut. Like I said, you can also preserve that by using pre-shave oil, which can be super elaborate. It can be very easy. By the way, I have just pulled my brush out and I'm building up my Mitchell's wool fat in my scuttle. For those of you who don't know, scuttle is basically a double-walled, it's kind of like a tea kettle. It holds the water inside. You build your lather on the second layer. If you check out my About Subs video, you'll see a little more detail on that. Mitchell's wool fat is the soap I'm using today, and it's a little fussy. And really, you get a 3/4 build in the bowl, and then you finish on your face. Or at least that's how it's worked for me, and a couple of others have stated similar. So this is just water. Again, I like to start with a thin layer of water on my face as I'm building the lather. Just one of those little things I found works for me. It might not work for everybody. And no, I'm not over paranoid about saying that, by the way. I find a lot of people will say, oh, this is absolutely the way to do it, when I first started out. And yeah, you're looking at the evolution of, but it didn't work for me. So I'm always cautious when somebody says, how do you? To preface it with, be aware this is how I do it. might not work for you. Oh, by the way, you'll notice the sweep that I'm doing. I tend to go up everywhere but one part of my neck. This is my trouble spot. This is the direction. The way that you see me sweep is the direction of the grain, or the primary anyway, because we've all got those little spots where it just doesn't want to agree with anybody. So, sorry about this. I'm going to tuck the camera down just a little bit so you can see better. Maybe not. Let's try there. Okay, so holding the razor so that your finger rests on the tang, you're pinching forward of the scales of the handle, bring it in. I do apologize, you're going to have a little bit of trouble seeing this side. A smooth, confident stroke. The camera does what it usually does. That sounds awful. It's not pulling, it's not tearing. This one has really good voice. Yeah. The temptation here, don't know how well this is coming up, but you can see I've got a little bit, it's not quite a miss, but it's a little longer than you'd like for first pass. Don't do this, don't go back, don't, really. You'll get on the next pass, you're just going to take your time. Oh, by the way, if you can't do this long, confident stroke that you're seeing, understand it's taken me a couple of years to get this one. That's acceptable. You'll see me do that in a couple of places anyway. Yeah, see that? You see me almost go back in? 5 years, you'd think I'd know. Don't do that. Never put the razor across anything that has not had foam put on it. If you're not leathered, you're not safe. This saves your face. Don't double over it. If you need to go back, it's in the bowl, go get it. Touch it up real quick and then go again. It's a little too dry. I just picked up a little bit of water. And more water. I'm apparently shaving my ear today too. What happens when you try to keep an eye on a camera and shave? Okay, so that was a with the grain pass for the most part. Now we're going to do an across the grain pass. I hate doing an across the grain on the cheeks because I can't really see well. I'm pretty sure I tagged myself there at least once. And there's that trouble spot. Gone. There's just no getting that as a side pass, so I'm going to have to It's me being stupid and pushing through dry lather, by the way, guys. Yeah, see? Stop. It's amazing how tempting, or how easy it is to forget what you're doing and wander into. Oh, I can get it, I can get it. God help me, I'm going to quote Star Wars. Remember Porkins? I can hold it? Yeah, don't. Don't be like Porkins. You'll hug her in. So, this is just warm water. Again, cleaning up so I can get a look, get a feel for what am I missing. Because my next pass is against the grain now. This is acceptable at this point. You could walk out the door and no one would have a problem. However, let's see if we can improve on this thing. And again, it's reduction, reduction, reduction. You're not trying to get it all in one pass. You won't. If you try, you'll turn yourself to hamburger. The other thing is, don't go to hell with multiple passes. Multiple passes will get you a lot of pain too, because if you get completely obsessed with getting every little hair knocked down to absolutely dead level, you'll get the razor burn of your life. There we go, that's better. I threw a little more water in it this time, and of course with my face cleared off. Alright, now that was cross grain. This is, for the most part, well, ignore this trouble area. This is against the grain. Steepen the angle. Should be something like 75 to 90 degrees here. Not dealing with a ton of pressure. Not pushing in. Well, you're pushing in enough to hold the blade to the skin. I hate this spot, by the way. Notice how I'm pulling the neck. Notice how I stopped at the jawline. Hopefully, this will show a little better here. Notice I take a series of quick shots. To make that corner, that radius around the jawline. Yeah, like that. Now, that. Yeah, you can do a pretty good job on the trouble spot. There's one spot right here that could be a little rough. But I know from experience, if I go after this, if I try and take this down to absolutely baby butt smooth, this will be razor bumps in 48 hours. It's only visible if you're really mauling my face, and there's only one person that's allowed to do that, so she's learned to live with it, so have I, we're good. Sometimes it's asking yourself, do I want to die on that hill, right? So, let's go for cleanup. Again, this is cool water this time. And I think I got a bleeder there, just a small one. Clean towel, pat your face. Oh, by the way, when I was wiping down, you noticed I was being very specific. Go with the grain everywhere. Reason being, you've now got your face in a fairly fragile state. If you push up, you could wind up fuzzies. You push up, you can push the follicles in underneath the skin, and at this point they're nice and sharp, and yeah, there's a little trace. Okay, easily fixed. Styptic pencil. This is a little more concentrated than an Allen block. Allen block will work for this too, it just takes a little longer. Of course, this stings more, so not sure that's a cut or just a scrape, but whatever. No, there we go. Done. Make sure you dry this off. I just use a towel, something, anything. Or you can leave it on the counter upright until it dries. Put it back in the tube while it's still wet. It'll get all fuzzy and rough and nasty. Really the last thing I'm going to be throwing on something that's been hacked up. So, Allen block. I've just dipped one side of this and you just basically rub it all over your face. Now, depending on your skin type, your relative humidity in your area, and so on and so on and so on, this may be a fantastic idea for you. This might be a horrible idea for you. For me, I can use it as a toner. I can't use it as my last step. It's great because any little nicks that weren't obvious enough to hit with a styptic pencil, you can knock down. These guys have this, however, will dry out your face. It is highly base, so if your skin can't support that, you'll get one of two effects. You'll either produce oil like crazy, or you'll start going flaky. For me, I start going flaky up here, and I'm coming up on winter, so it doesn't really work for me. This is jojoba oil. I've also been known to use almond oil, and you also have witch hazel. Now this is Thayer's witch hazel. I've just moved it into a different bottle because I hate plastic bottles. You can also use something like GF Trumper's Skin Food. That's limes. You guys have seen me use that one before. With the jojoba, however, I do want to show this one specifically, because I wanted to show you. That's it. Just a couple of drops in your palms. It's almost too much, actually. Again, with the grain. No, totally too much. But this is the weekend luxury shave, so we're going to leave that. I might do a little bit of trimming. Oh, by the way, let me just clean my brush. I'm just throwing that in leftover water as I drain the sink. And you've seen me do this in the shave video, in the soap video, but here's the cleaning. Just warm water, cup it in between your hands, give it a couple of shakes. Nothing too heavy duty, blooms out. One thing I've noticed, if your bristles are kind of matted together in the center, it means that you've still got soap in there. Rinse it again, shake it out again. Okay, so now I've got that. Something that everybody has to do. Do a little beard trimming here. Yeah, I never really like doing it like that. Yeah, reasonably presentable. One stone. There we go. So, that's that. A little bit of stropping before I put the blade away. Okay. And now, because there is still a little bit too much, just blot with a bit of tissue paper. And your cologne of choice. This is my homemade bay rum. And that's a little too much of my homemade bay rum, but hey, what the hell. All things being equal, there's your luxury shave. Not bad. I'm showing about 23 minutes on the clock. Considering my yapping and everything else, I could probably do this a little faster, but faster ain't the reason for this. Quality. One small nick that you'll never see. And, you know, that's rules of the game. So, there you go. One complete baby butt smooth shave with a straight razor, a little beard trimming. What do you think? By the way, if you go to the channel main page for my shave videos, there's a survey, or there's a request link, for lack of a better term, down at the bottom for what would you like to see me do next. Either there or on Reddit or Wicked Edge. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. Hell, yell at me if you want. I'm here. Until next time, keep them sharp.